warbase, he's come up to me and said, hey, can you check out my warbase? So I've taken a snapshot of it. Clint's joining us from, well, introduce yourself, Clint.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Clint from ProdigalTheives. Visiting over at the Outlaws for a couple wars, having a good time. So, there you go.
All right. So he's got a new warbase here, and he asked me in chat and said, hey, can you give me a review on my warbase? And I said, it's garbage. And he said, well, what do you mean?
It's true, it is.
And then, of course, the discussion went from there to, okay, jump on something that I can actually type on, which was Discord. And then we went from there to audio. And from there, I'm like, well, I'm not going to spend the next 2 hours describing to you what I mean. Why don't we just live stream it and you can go ahead and tune in. So, Clint, you can actually go ahead and hit that up. Just make sure that you mute the actual stream if you find it.
Oh, I'm in it right now.
Oh, you are? Okay. So if you mute the audio in there, we'll make sure that we don't actually get a whole bunch of feedback. So this is my little drawing tool here. Now, the buildings, the first thing that I notice when I look is these buildings. Oh, look at my lack of drawing. This is me drawing with a mouse, right? So all of your markets and your mills all have huge hit points, right? Markets, mills, your oil refinery. Those are the biggest hit points that you're going to find, as well as your vault, wherever you've hidden that. You've got to utilize those better. And what I mean by better is you've got to utilize them in such a fashion that it distracts the troops that are coming at your base or coming at some of your primary defenses. So one of the things that I would suggest as far as utilizing those better, where's your other, I can't really scroll. Oh, see, you've got a couple up here. One of the things I would suggest to utilize those better, just as an example, would be, say, having two markets side by side and then set back. So if you had a market here and a market here, let's say, and set this back a little bit. So the first thing that the defenders are going to attack would be those two markets, right? And now that's just an example, and it would obviously distract them enough, or alternately have them in front of things like mortars. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely. I think you could see I could try to. I tried somewhat to do that by protecting that bottom right corner with the vault and the refinery, but I definitely was not paying attention to the markets. That's for sure.
Okay.
Whether those are used in a good spot, my thinking was just to try to prevent the approach from the non-clear area, kind of slow them down, and then have the troops spawn in that mortar at least fire upon them. But you tell me whether it's executed properly.
I would, to be honest with you, I would separate them. I would be separating, okay. Like, for instance, these, the mills that are up here, nobody's really going to want to attack you right from Versailles. Well, maybe, or from, is that Versailles? Nobody's really going to want to attack you from up here. I dislike the fact that that's actually out, and that's only based on my wife telling me over and over, you know, protect your fort, protect your fort. I'm the one person, well, I'm sure I'm not the only person. I like having my fort behind walls. And as a result of her saying that, I'm really into fort sniping, if you haven't been able to tell. That's one of my favorite things to do in war, is rather than, you know, wasting a sabotage on somebody's fort, I'll just drop my artillery and let them snipe it, and then I'll carry on.
So how about this as an idea? Do you think I should move the fort within the walls, kind of above Acropolis, where that anti-tank gun is now, and then center Versailles, Acropolis on that approach? That would work better?
Oh, yeah, you know what? I think that might be an excellent solution. These roads that you've got here, you've got roads, is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that not a road?
In between the castle and Versailles, yeah, that was just, I copied this design from my home base, and so I obviously just
okay. So I'm trying to, eraser, okay. So let's carry on and we'll take a look at the roads. I'm going to try and erase some of this. Oh, sheesh, I hope Microsoft doesn't come after me. This is their snipping tool I'm using. Heaven forbid. Okay, so obviously that road you can tell I disagree with.
Yeah, I'm completely with you on that.
This one here, and really I think this road should be going straight out. So you've got to do something either. I'm wondering how you would rework that or renegotiate that.
From the center? Because, gates are weak, so I was trying not to have any gates on, that bottom side again with the forest. That's why kind of the gates are going up towards the ball.
When's the last time you were looting and one of your guys even went and attacked a gate?
I mean, I tried to rally behind them. Yeah, fair point.
So that's kind of what I'm drawing on is when's the last time that actually realistically happened to you?
Fair point.
Is that connected? That is connected, isn't it?
Yes.
It must be. I'm just visually it looks kind of strange. What I would be doing here is I would be going probably out. I'd be finding some other home for this like random wall, and I would be moving this section of wall over one along with the gate. I'd be putting a gate there, and I'd be bringing the road network straight out. I would be making a gap. You can move one of these out in order to create yourself a gap so that you can bring your road network straight out. And that would... And then from there, I think you're better off going... I look at your road networks and I'm like, why is there so little connected to it? It would only cost you one road right here to connect 2 extra buildings. It would only cost you, again, one road. If you move this one down, I guess that one's already on, and that one's already on there. So those 2 is what I was talking about. Where else is there? Probably behind here you could drop one wall in order to connect 2 more buildings. So there's 4 right off without even making a whole bunch of changes, right?
I mean, all those at the bottom are connectable that you see. I mean, my video's a little laggy, but you're talking about Acropolis.
Yeah, so it's like off of the corners and whatnot, it only takes you like one road in order to get an extra 2 buildings.
Yeah, great point. I can pull the road from in between the fort and the other side too.
I was just going to say, with this road here, you've probably got like 5 pieces of road that are there. You could go with an extra 1, 2 there to get you another 2 buildings. And then, so there's 6 buildings with your 5 pieces of road that you've wasted right here.
Yeah. One thing that was bothering me personally about this base, this is kind of a tricky one, is the fact that on the bottom left corner, all of that whole other side of the road network, I'm not going to get any buildings in.
Yeah. That's
kind of getting wasted, So I had thoughts of taking out the barracks on the embassy side, where you buy coalitions and stuff up there.
Yeah, right up there.
Moving that, shifting everything kind of one space up, so I could actually fit buildings in that bottom left area. But I mean, that's a whole lot of work.
It really is. The interface for modifying these things is really not very helpful, is it? But your road networks, I mean, having decent road networks on your war base will account for 2 things. One, it takes away people's ability to actually more successfully get that quick victory. So you can potentially steal a star away from somebody. The second thing that it does is it allows all your defensive units to actually attack whoever's attacking you a little bit longer, giving you a better chance of success and victory, especially if they do a forced rally. If they do a forced rally on a town center that's got high hit points on it, they're going to be sitting there for an extra 2-3 seconds, and that's enough to kill a victory.
Absolutely. Now, this is a question I've always wondered. Have theories on how the road network is calculated, i.e., like half the town center's total hit points would be the 100% bonus that can be added on based on if every building is connected. But I mean, obviously, no one knows. But going off of that, what's your bonus?
What my bonus on my town center? Like, is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I believe.
Like, what's a good bonus? Basically, is what I'm going.
Oh, what's a good bonus?
I have like 52 current home base. I don't even know if that's good or not.
See, and it's scary to actually figure out because, as you've probably noted, that you can't see your bonus, your road network bonus, on your warbase. There's no mechanism to actually see the info on your city center in your warbase to actually tell you what it's been calculated at.
Yeah.
So, short of actually copying your home base and your warbase and swapping them, interchanging them, which isn't easily accomplished, you're not able to see what that road network bonus is. But to
if you look at my current home base, you will definitely note the similarities between the warbase you're looking at now. I mean, it's straight copy and adjust. But
so
I think that's why I just need to redo it. Honestly,
here's what I'm thinking. Well, you asked. I'm an industrial age. I'm a level 144 industrial. I'm not extremely highly focused on my road network. However, my road network is sitting at 8,640.
Wow. Significant difference. I mean, clearly, I think some of that has to do with ancillary buildings hit points that are attached to it. Most of my farms, etc., are gunpowder, so that's not.
No, actually, I don't believe so. I think it's just based on, like, this is a building, it's attached to the road network, your hit points go up.
Really?
I don't think it has. I think you're overcomplicating it. I think it. I don't believe it even matters because.
Well, no, because.
We'll get. You know what?
I focus on my road network.
Yeah.
And I'm at 78. 7,800.
7,800. So the level of the buildings might actually be taken into consideration. Thus to mean your first assessment of that, Clint, would have been correct, where you're better off focusing on connecting a higher end defensive building such as this cannon tower or the anti-tank gun.
Any of your farms upgraded?
Not to industrial. Mine are all enlightened. So, but to that note, Clint, you were absolutely right, I guess. Based on, obviously the very limited sample size we have here, you're better off actually connecting anti-tank guns and the things that are upgraded.
Oh, okay, fair point. That's interesting because I know, say if you just attach a building or detach a building from the road network, it doesn't matter which one you're
it just says
attaching,
10%.
Or, yeah, it's a percentage based, but that does make sense that the overall total would be based on the total hit points of the upgraded buildings.
Yeah, and I mean see, in Marlon we kind of go back and forth in regard to because
I don't know, maybe because I just removed one of my markets, which is a higher level, versus one of my lower level markets, and it was the same amount.
It is the same amount.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's just based on the total amount of hit points, I guess.
But that total includes the upgrades of all the mills and markets, etc. So I think that would be affected.
But I mean, if your total hit points. So say, for instance, when I upgrade a mill, or say I upgrade a farm, my upgraded farm from level 12 to level 13, it only gives me an extra 90 hit points. But multiply that by the number of farms that I actually have, and yours are what? You said you haven't upgraded any of them?
Some are 12, most are 11.
Okay, so I mean that's not bad though, right? But the point being that I guess it multiplies. Like each of these things on their own don't really mean a whole lot, but when you talk about 10 of them, you're talking 900 extra hit points, and then per age, right? You're talking 90 per age or 900 per age. So
I think each building is weighted the same.
You think they're weighted this? Well, they are. What I'm saying is that it's the total number of hit points. And then it's divided by, so it's 10% the total number of hit points. Does that?
Yeah.
Minus 10% road network bonus.
Yeah. Maybe.
So I'm not sure. That's some interesting mathematics to discuss, eh?
Yeah, it gets me all excited. You better watch out.
Oh, the maths. We love the maths.
I'm about to spreadsheet it all out.
Do it up. Do it up. I'm game. I love math. So,
By the way, Kill is lurking and saying he's going to 10-star my bait. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
he's going to 10-star your base?
10-star my base, evidently.
Okay. All right. We got there's 5 people watching lurking on your base. That's awesome.
What not to do with warbase?
But I mean, yeah, and there's scribbles all over the place, eh? I guess here's what my suggestion is. Bring this in. Leave this in. That needs to be protected because it only works when it's alive. Try moving this try moving your town center 1 up. And then you can actually put these side by side, like one next to the other with like 1 road in between them.
Yeah, but then I'm, the 5 spaces thing I was going for is kind of negated at that point.
What do you mean by the 5 spaces thing that you were going for?
He was looking for a 5-space radius.
Okay.
Town center. So that was the inspiration for this base.
But you don't have a 5.
Exactly.
There's not a 5-space gap. Like there's not a 5-space gap out here. On either side of this, there's not a 5-space gap.
I think there is on every side except the forest side, which I realized after the fact.
Well,
am I wrong?
No, because I can and I believe would shoot this from outside that wall.
Yeah, that's the one side I'm talking about. But the others are okay. Yep.
No, on this side as well. I'm scribbling all over the place. Let me see if I can erase some of this garbage. Yeah, so I'm talking about this one where I just erased. Look at the clean side. Yeah, so I think the only one that's good, actually no, not even. I believe all sides of those are shootable, with the exception of where the Acropolis is.
Wow.
I think they're all shootable.
Epic fail on my part then, I guess.
Have you never, well, you said this is similar to your actual home base, so in your replays, do you ever see a cannon shooting you?
My home base is where in my home base, my town center is where my storehouse is.
Oh, wow.
Like I said, I don't care about medals, man.
Yeah, and I guess, yeah, see, the fallacy is, like, most people don't really care about their town centers. They're like, yeah, please take my town center, that's awesome. But complement it with that, like, if you haven't upgraded your caravans, you haven't upgraded anything, and your road network doesn't look very good, well, then it makes sense to just kind of ignore that. But, for instance, like, we had a busy day today, so I was offline for, I don't know, we'll say 4 hours, right? I came back, and every single one of my level 12 Enlightened Age resource buildings popped out 18,000 resources. So, for me, it makes a bit of a different, there's a difference there. Like, if I left my city center out, then people would be stealing that. They'd be popping my farms and stealing my gold off my road network.
My theory on it, obviously we each have our own opinion, but it encourages lower levels or upper levels in the metal range to attack for that quick metal gain. And then I try to make the path more difficult to my resources at that point, given where my town center is. It's been working really well for me as a home base. I just think that every time you switch your home base to your war base, it kind of ends up unsuccessful, as it appears this attempt was. I think it's just 2 totally separate deals. What are your thoughts on that?
Repeat that last statement. Every time you...
Pardon me?
Repeat that last statement for me again.
I was just saying that it works really well as a home base because leaving the town center out at my metal level encourages people above me who are hunting for metals to hit it for the quick victory and not go after my resources, and people below me to hit it and not be able to get to the rest of my resources.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So as far as a home base, it works great.
Right.
I got rated by one of the top USA elite guys. Obviously, he's going to roll over me. But before that, my previous hits were, this guy dropped 6 howitzers, a tank, an RD, 2 machine gunners, 33 riflemen, the whole shebang, 2 tanks, and he got a 2-star quick victory with 169 gold and 350 food taken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get a lot of those. My thinking is the big hits are going to come, and if a global age guy wants to come and roll over me, then there's not really much I can do about it, quite frank. So
Okay.
what I try to do is make it difficult for everyone else.
Yeah, and I think that's... I like making it difficult for everybody. I mean, I'm the person that... I'm very defensively and offensively focused. I mean, realistically, you probably have higher offensive troops than I do, and I'm sitting at a 144. So,
Yeah.
obviously there's some selective upgrading occurring there. Seeing you've got 3 anti-tank guns. I've only got 2 anti-tank guns even. So, like there's that to be taken into consideration. But I like watching my replays, and I want to make it difficult for everybody. I work on my trap placement. I work on all of those things. I focus on, and I watch my replays, and I work on it in order to isolate where are people coming in, where are people most likely to attack you from. I think as far as a war base or base design, I think it actually improves the gameplay or improves my gameplay.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I totally give you. I watch your videos and you scroll through your defenses, and that's a list that I don't see on any of my my home base especially. So you definitely have the defense going on for sure, and that's why I asked you to do this. I could learn a lot from both of you, so I appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome. Anytime, Clint. Those wee little mortars. Look at those tiny little mortars.
I'm just waiting till you make fun of them with the listed tower popping around wherever
Oh,
that is.
I wasn't gonna mention that. I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Look at the size here. Just for a quick second, if you can imagine, you're this guy standing here. You are told to go and attack this thing right here. So you completely ignore the fact that there's this giant gun staring at you. But just imagine for a moment, if you will. Here's one arm of this thing, and here's one arm of this thing, and it pulls it back to, let's say, here in order to fire it. Meaning that the length of this has got to be probably 18 feet. Because the point is there, and the back would be about there. So you've got this 18-foot spike staring at your face. And you're just going to go ahead and attack it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys, I got this. My daughter showed me YouTube videos of stuff like that. So there you go. That's yeah. I'm not going to make fun of a ballista tower because I wouldn't personally take one on. However, as far as it pertains to the game, it is cute.
Isn't it? I think it adds a little bit of whimsy to my base, to be honest with you.
Now, the other thing that I've learned, based on very good advice, when you do get a bunker, when you do end up with a bunker, make sure that you place your bunker around anti-tank guns, or at least in range of anti-tank guns.
Yeah.
And the other good note to make is that you do actually have anti-tank guns in range of your town center, your city center. The reason that's important is because if somebody takes over those howitzers or whatever you have in your city center, then bam, they're gone. You don't have to contend with them. You know that you've just wasted the guy's blessing, effectively, is what it is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Maybe?
Yeah, absolutely.
What else is there?
Absolutely.
I like the use of. I like the fact that you've actually got your mortars away from the outside of the base. I think that's important. So you've respected kind of that fact that they, and I don't even know if that's true because I've seen mortars that attack guys that are standing like almost like right on top of the rim of the mortar. They're pretty much standing there loading the balls into the mortar for the mortar to fire at them. But according to when you click on it, there's this red circle that says, I'm not going to attack anything closer than this. But really it doesn't. But still, I like the fact that you've kept them back.
I did have them all 4 in the center, more similar to the lower side. But on advice of a teammate, I moved that one, the bottom or the left quadrant, I guess it would be, outside of the center into the outer walls.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, see,
In hopes of preventing the one that was not, you weren't able to sabotage one and the town center together. I guess was it. I'm still not really sure whether it's doing much out there. I do like how it covers that approach on what I would consider weaker sides, but it does kind of bother me sitting out there too.
well, see, in the concept, the difficulty is getting those mortars to attack what's important. Most people that are, fairly refined are going to do one of two things. They're going to drop their heavies and get them in there so that they take the mortar fire, or alternately, they're just going to blow them up. You're susceptible to being blown up based on the fact that those are gunpowder age mortars. Are those gunpowder? I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah, they are for sure.
Or alternately, so really when you think about somebody attacking, if they plopped their heavies right here, they could very easily put all the rest of their stuff here and it'd be wandering in while this mortar attacked them there. Whereas the ones that are back a little bit further, you know for a fact that like this one that's back and this one that's back, Buddy's going to drop his heavies here, and that's great that his heavies are going to come and take out this, but they're going to end up standing at this wall at some point, right? And that, and then they're going to be standing at the wall, and the same with everything else. Everything else is going to clear out all of this excess building out here, inclusive to which is, his artillery, his riflemen, whatever he's got. They're going to clear out all those buildings, and eventually they're going to be standing at the same wall with those heavies. So having this mortar back here means that they're all going to be standing in the same spot.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what you want. You want everything to be taking that splash damage, that mortar fire.
So I guess my original thought was probably better.
To have them all in the center?
Yeah. I essentially had the readout on the left corner of the town center was where that other mortar was.
Well, possibly you could even, you might want
or
to
where the
consider
garrison is.
reutilizing this chunk of wall here, and actually expanding this wall or moving this wall so that you had a little bit of a compartment that allowed you to put your mortar back here, so that if somebody was in the center, they didn't have free range over all 3 of them or all 4 of them, but it still kept this mortar away from the outside. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like for instance, if you had a box, so if you were to make a box here and you put this mortar right where it is, then it would still do, it would serve the exact same purpose with the exact same benefit, but it would still be segregated from everything else in here. This is like the worst drawing tool ever. I apologize for that.
Oh no, it's helpful.
But it's certainly better than trying to explain this all to you over Discord. So that's it. That's what I got. But I'm gonna. Was there anything else that I can help you with, Clint? I still have no idea.
I think I'm pretty good. Have you noticed anything else?
I haven't noticed anything else. I was going to say, don't ask me about air defense because I have no idea where the best place to put it is. I do the same as you, where I pepper mine on my base. I just kind of throw it in there, and I'm like, there, that's good.
I'd conceivably try to look for a gap in tower coverage, but I mean, it's kind of a guessing game.
It is, and I mean, yeah. So don't ask me about that. I'm certainly not on the up and up, and certainly, I don't know. The other thing I would say is move that back. Where's my highlighter? Let's see what the highlighter does. Move this back 1 space, because you don't want it potentially to be the first thing that people attack when they come up to that wall. You want it to either people to have to rally on it, or alternately for you want to give this the most opportunity to attack defenders as possible.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
So, and that's kind of the same point I was making with the high hit point buildings. High hit point building there would might conceivably do better. What I will say that I like about this base is this is one of those bases that really does mess with you when you go to attack. And the reason that this base will mess with you when you go to attack is this is one of those split bases. So, thus to mean he's got garrisons in the middle, and when those troops all spawn, and they've got a pretty large circumference as far as spawn points, but they're not coming directly out at you. So say, for instance, if you were to conceivably drop your troops here, and they started spitting out troops, the closest that they're going to go is probably going to be through this gate, up here, and as soon as they actually get here, all of your shooters are potentially going to go this way in order to go and get them, and most likely all of your other troops are going to go this way.
Yeah, exactly.
Doot doot.
And
Marla's picking. Oh wow, you've got Marla's attention. You're in trouble now, Clint. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was about to ask. What do you think?
I think your fort is safe out there just because it's beside your Versailles. It would be not wise to snipe it. Because if you do have to put in your supporting troops, they're going to be slowed down by the Versailles.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's definitely not the way to drop, I would say, on that base.
Exactly.
Well,
which is what I was trying to encourage by the single wall.
Yes. Like, I think that's...
My drop point would be right up above there. If I was going to snipe this, it would be up behind there, and I would be doing a forced rally on there with nothing but my artillery.
No, I'd come on it head on from down here.
No, I was just saying if I was going to snipe it, that's where I'd be coming from.
Yeah, well, but not a lot of people do that. I think it's pretty safe there.
Well, certainly. It
but
is more
I would
safe
come
there.
in right there.
Marla's saying she would be coming in right here.
So I would make sure this
By where,
wall...
Marla? I'm sorry. Cursor's a little behind.
By where your 4 farms are.
Okay, yeah. So I was going to say I would drop on that side or up by the...
Up by the where?
The markets. Where probably I would drop if I was attacking. Nice.
Oh, by the markets. Up here.
To the top left of the gate.
Oh, yeah. So I'd ignore that and save that for last. Disable it. Yeah.
That's your point.
So yeah, I would make sure there was the 5 spaces on this space.
And I don't think you have 5. I think you've got 4.
Does the wall count? I think that's what made me mess me up.
That's the fallacy that I'm under, because I don't know if the wall counts or not, because I've seen guys that their cannons actually like almost nose over top of the wall and start firing at stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that 4 or is that 5 spaces? So I'm always a little bit confused, but I'm pretty sure that you've got to have like a road. I've always considered it to be not with the wall. It's got to be 5 spaces. And you know who would know though? Mr. Lax. He would have the definitive answer, because he's, as far as if I have questions like this, he's the guy to ask. Let's ask him.
I'm asking him right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I can just jump on Discord and harass him. He's a great guy. Pete's an excellent guy. Very knowledgeable about the game.
Yeah, he's fun to talk to too. He's entertaining.
He's packed full of fun, isn't he?
We were talking last night after your live stream for a while.
Oh yeah, you guys were up super late.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I tuned in and it was after 1 here.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to bed. You guys are like, what? You're missing the fun. And I'm like, no, I'm not missing the fun.
Him, Avery, and I are all late night dwellers, so.
Well, we are too, but like our kids are up at 6, so it's like, yeah.
I was laughing about your coffee cup.
Oh, yeah.
Video. I'm the same way. I have a general rule not to approach.
Yeah, we
Well,
don't.
if you're smart.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of talking that goes on at night. In the mornings here, usually I nod at my wife. I give her a good girth, you know.
Yeah, like the bro, what's up? Hey.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? All right. Well, I think I'm gonna run away. I think Marla's actually gonna let me steal the tablet for a little bit. But actually, you know what? I am gonna make you leave it in the comments below, whether it's including the wall or not. That way, everybody knows. If they're watching this, going, I'm gonna attack Clint.
No, it's okay. Leave it up. It's not going to be there for much longer anyway.
Oh, I'm sure.
If
I'm
you
sure.
want.
You know what? Anybody looks hard enough, they can get out every single one of my war bases. It's like, that's nice. Good luck.
Yeah.
It's not going to change a thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So I'm of the same contention as you. Hopefully, people will find it at least a little bit entertaining and maybe learn something from it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm all for it.
So we'll throw.
I love all feedback. Good.
Absolutely, and I mean, who knows? Who knows? Maybe you'll get better feedback in the comments than you will from me. I know that there's some extremely knowledgeable people that actually watch our stream. I've had comments that help me fix bugs, in my war base. I've had there's tons of people that know way more than me. I'm still just a puppy dog when it comes to this game.
Yeah, me too, especially defensively. That's not as much my focus.
Dominations guy was asking.
I'm trying to bring it up to par though.
Dominations guy was asking if it was you. That's Jeff, right? Jeffrey's house from our alliance?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Jeffrey's house. Dominations guy, that is him. So, anyways, you caught us at the tail end of this, Jeffrey. Clint, thanks for letting me pick that apart.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure. Thank you for doing it. Much appreciated.
You're very welcome. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
All right. Take it easy.